yes, to put that as a disclosure. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to. But the way I see it, God is kind of like looking at yourself through a whole way of mirror effect, where it's a whole fucking bunch of mirrors and mirrors and mirrors and mirrors and mirrors, and all you can see is reflections around the same buddy person in there as you, and God is in your mind in that way, in my view, also. But like, to be serious, I live in a tent. That's why it's kind of gloomic in here. You don't really have a lot of light, so people are like, "Oh, it's a vibe." No, it's not. I mean, call what you like. I'm homeless, but it's not the reason I'm atheist. It's a little bit more logical than that. Years of study. I used to be all sorts of different things. Like, I was a pandeist before I became an atheist. Before that, I was like a polytheistic, Christian evading. There was a time period. Also, I was like a Taoist, kind of like between my atheism beliefs. What mainly changed is not I believe in a system as much as I want to understand the underlying truth of the world around me. And that's what led me to atheism. So it's not a bad or anything. I always say the rusky in me. Got the sharp teeth. A little bit yellow because I smoke way too much. Not evil. Just saying. That's my worldview of it. I hear voices in my head too. So I have to take that kind of like, well, they might be real, they might not. If they're real, I didn't necessarily consent to have this conversation. It's happening anyway. I guess I'll just engage like it's the regular world happening in my head though. Right? And then, or it could also just be illusion in my mind. Are there any religious people, or seriously religious, that also believe that mental illness exists, or they think it's all demons? So, like I said about God, you take it any way you want. Seriously. Is it ominous presence? No, it's just a fucking orange tarp. There's always a basic explanation for most of these things people freak out about. I got schizophrenia, so I can see the way people think of delusions, but just the way mental illness works. Like, I could see a hallucination here, right in this spot, right where I put my thumb, like in this area. It looked like a cross in my vision through the reflection or whatever, the reconversion of the image from the computer I'm looking in right now. Well, there's a few reasons it could be happening. It could just be illusion of my mind, or it could be someone hacking the phone, or, or it could be another worldly understanding. But it's just an illusion in my mind, is what it is. Okay? It's the things that run through your head. It's like the time I took mushrooms and I saw myself as a little angel, a little devil. At the same time, like, banging on a mushroom. And, like, somehow that's wrong. It's hallucination. I took mushrooms and saw it. Like, it's literally, why isn't I an experience unless you're on a hallucinogen? Right? Make sense? If you're not experiencing it, if you're not on a hallucinogen, then it's a hallucination. Otherwise, and I think God's a hallucination. It might be a mass hallucination. You got people, all the different religions, they believe that God's the truth, and maybe even heard from him. All that the Christians have got to say is like, well, it's just a bunch of devils. All of them are devils. Okay. There have been attempts with the Hindus to try to merge Jesus into their belief system. I can't remember what they're called, but they always say it's about Krishna coming back, right? So, what I'm trying to say is, how do you actually know which one's the right one in the first place? If you grew up in India, you were not exposed to Christian beliefs, how could you even possibly understand you're believing in the wrong God? You're being told that God is this way, they're blue, and all that. Like, no. And I used to be kind of a Hindu too. I called a polytheistic Christian evadist. As it's polytheism mixed with Jesus. This is what I believed in. I also believed in all the, like, saviors of earth, the 14 of them even. Like, yeah, I was in that. It wasn't really a cult because I came up with it myself. I was like, this is what I believe, and I looked it up and I started researching it, and I was like, oh, believe this way and work this way, and that's how the world works, and those are the gods that came all the time to save us, and we just continue to do the same thing because we can't learn the lesson, right? So that really basic kind of like agnostic, open to things, but being influenced by Western culture, but being open-minded to Eastern culture and stuff like that was ultimately what led me to where I am today, atheist, where I say that God is like looking down a hallway of mirrors and seeing a reflection of yourself. Especially if you took acid, seeing all the good, seeing all the bad. It even says it in the Bible, Isaiah 45:7. Isn't that the most popular verse? I am the creator of all good and evil. I am the darkness and the light is actually one of the interpretations of it. So, take that as you will, but I don't believe it actually is an ultimate truth other than human beings are all that we know, other than the natural forces and animals around us that might hunt us. We are the good and the evil in this world, right? And we are the God of this world. It's not the devil, it's not Jesus, it's humans, which makes the most sense. Think about it. Because we are the ones who have their hands on the wheel, right? So well, who else would it be who's doing what we're doing? Doesn't that make sense to anybody with a rational mind? I mean, I know if you're stuck in religious delusions or hallucinations of your own, you're going to strongly believe that all of this video is scary looking, or at least that I'm a sad person in some way. There are bad things that happen to me. I'm a survivor of a lot of things that happen to me, including almost being murdered. And I'm not going to go all my life's details, although my family also did me wrong. I'm not a perfect person, but I do believe in doing the right thing and pushing each other for excellence. And the reason why I brought this up and started this recording anyway was that I had a little breakthrough moment. And that breakthrough moment was that you're recognizing the reflection of yourself in God, and that God is an idea in your head at the end of the day. Who are you looking towards? And you're looking for God. You're looking for what you know the best. And all that. Really. Because if you knew all these things, you'd be God, right? Or if you could do all those things, you'd be God, right? We're always seeking superpower in this world. With technology, with people that we can influence, and with actual power itself, like electric power, oil, and it comes down to the real leverage that human beings have in this environment that we're in. But if you're looking for God, then you might just consider having that hallway mirror effect, the infinite mirror effect. Look down and see yourself in